The most common path to immortality is a trap. For 99% of human history, leaving a legacy meant one thing: having children. It's our biological default, the code running beneath the surface of culture itself. Yet some of the most influential figures in history were childless, and their impact echoes louder than any single bloodline. Both paths promise a form of continuation, and both are riddled with profound unspoken risks. Where do you stand? By the end of this, you might question the very definition of legacy. The argument for biological legacy is brutally simple. It's primal. Evolution spent 4 billion years refining a single directive: replicate. Your DNA is an unbroken chain of survivors, stretching back to the first self-copying molecule. To have a child is to pass that baton one more time. It's a physical, tangible form of immortality. You see your own gestures in a person who will exist after you are gone. You hear the echo of your laugh in a child's voice. This is legacy you can hold. It breathes. This drive is so powerful that for millennia it was the only form of legacy that truly counted. Kings needed heirs. Farms needed hands. Lineages needed to continue. A person without children was often seen as a tragic dead end, a final silent stop on a long family journey. This pressure feels ancient, because it is. It's the collective weight of every ancestor who succeeded in passing the torch, whispering that this is your primary duty. It is life's most obvious and validated project. It offers a clear answer to the terror of oblivion. That sounds like an open and shut case, a biological imperative. But there's a problem with this logic the moment you look at who actually shaped the world we live in. Isaac Newton, who gave us universal gravitation and calculus, died a virgin. Plato, whose philosophy underpins all of Western thought, had no children. Leonardo da Vinci, Nikola Tesla, Florence Nightingale, Beethoven, the list goes on and on. These individuals chose a different form of reproduction, a mimetic one. They created ideas, art, systems, and knowledge that behaved like genes. These mind children were copied, they spread, and they evolved. Plato's ideas have been replicating in the minds of students for over 2,000 years. That's a lineage more robust than any royal dynasty. A genetic line can be wiped out by a single plague or accident. A powerful idea once released is almost impossible to kill. It can go dormant for centuries and re-emerge from a single dusty book. This is the promise of a legacy of impact. It's a bet that you can create something of such value that other people will voluntarily carry it forward for you. You write a book, you build a company, you compose a piece of music, you formulate a scientific theory. You are attempting to inject a piece of your mind directly into the stream of human culture. If you succeed, your impact isn't just passed on, it scales. A child might influence their own children, and a small circle of friends. A breakthrough in engineering or medicine can improve the lives of billions of people you will never meet. It's a legacy of leverage, and yet this path has its own quiet terror. For every Newton remembered, how many brilliant minds are utterly forgotten? The crushing reality is that most attempts at this kind of legacy fail. Completely. For every masterpiece that hangs in a museum, 1 million canvases were painted, admired for a day, and then lost to time. For every successful business, thousands of others vanished, leaving behind nothing but old tax documents. For every book that becomes a classic, millions are written, published, and then pulped. The odds are terrifying. You can pour your entire life, your soul into a project, and the world can simply shrug. Nothing is promised. The market doesn't care about your effort. History has no obligation to remember your name. This is the great gamble. You trade the relative certainty of biological continuation for the infinitesimal chance of monumental impact. A child exists. They are a tangible fact. The legacy of a child is guaranteed, at least for one generation. The legacy of an idea might be zero, or it might be infinite. That uncertainty is a heavy burden. It's the fear that you will not only die, but that your life's work will die with you, leaving no trace. It's the specter of total erasure. This fear pushes many toward a middle ground. A legacy built through work, through community, through a life of quiet contribution. But this path has its own hidden trap. The idea is to build your legacy through the people you touch directly. You become a mentor, a great teacher, an inspiring leader, a person whose craftsmanship and integrity set a standard in your community. You pour your energy not into a single, static work, but into the growth of others. You create spiritual children. You teach someone a skill, and they teach another. You help someone find their confidence, and they go on to lead others. This creates ripples of influence that spread outward. It's a beautiful concept, and it feels more achievable, more human-scaled than writing the next great novel. There is a profound satisfaction in seeing someone you've mentored succeed. You see your values, your techniques, your way of thinking, living on through them. You have successfully replicated a piece of your best self in another person. But here is the trap. The better you are at this, the more invisible your contribution becomes. A great mentor empowers their mentee to stand on their own. The student's success becomes their own story. Your role as the catalyst fades into the background. You are the foundation that no one sees. You are the scaffolding that is removed once the building is complete. The ripples you create are real, but they are almost impossible to trace back to you. Your legacy is absorbed, diffused, and ultimately unattributed. While a biological parent is forever linked to their child, the mentor's name is often a footnote, if it appears at all. This forces us to confront the core of the debate. It's a conflict between control and surrender. When you have a child, you are engaging in an act of profound surrender. You create a new human being with their own consciousness, their own will, their own destiny. They may embrace your values, or they may reject them completely. They may cherish your memory, or they may resent it. Your genetic legacy continues, but the meaning of that legacy is utterly out of your hands. You plant a seed, and it grows into a tree you cannot command. Your immortality is tied to a person who has the absolute freedom to become someone you wouldn't even recognize. It is the ultimate loss of control. A legacy of work, of ideas, is the opposite. It is an exercise in control. You are the architect. You write the sentence exactly as you want it. You design the system according to your precise logic. You craft the object to meet your vision. You are attempting to build a perfect, static representation of your will and intelligence. You control the blueprint. The risk here is that the world may reject your blueprint entirely. The building may never get built. The book may never be read. You maintain control over the creation, but you have zero control over its reception. So here is the fundamental trade-off. Do you choose a direct physical legacy that you must surrender to the will of another, a path of high certainty but no control? Or do you choose an abstract crafted legacy that you control completely, but which has a high probability of vanishing without a trace? The gardener versus the architect. One puts their faith in life's chaotic process. The other puts their faith in their own deliberate design. Both can lead to heartbreak. Both can lead to a form of immortality. Choosing a path requires knowing which kind of potential failure you are more willing to endure. This exposes a deeper question. Is the point of legacy the final outcome, or the process itself? Perhaps legacy isn't something you leave behind. Perhaps legacy is the person you become while trying to build something that matters. The discipline you forge while writing the book, the empathy you develop while mentoring a student, the resilience you gain from a failed business, these are changes to your own being. The work is working on you. In this view, the struggle to create something lasting is the point. The outcome is secondary. The goal is to live a life of such focused intention that your existence itself becomes the masterpiece. This reframes the entire problem. The question shifts from "how will I be remembered?" to "what is worth dedicating my life to, regardless of the outcome?" This approach can unify the two paths. A parent who raises a child with this philosophy isn't just passing on genes. They are modeling a life of purpose. A creator who builds with this mindset is immune to the terror of being forgotten, because the reward was earned in the daily act of creation. The focus is on the quality of the life lived, not the persistence of the name after death. Legacy becomes a byproduct of a life of meaning, not the goal itself. It's a radical shift. The pressure to be remembered dissolves, replaced by the drive to be someone worth remembering in the first place. So what do you think? The debate isn't about having children versus not having them. It's about what we believe true continuation is. Is it the visceral, chaotic, and uncontrollable process of biological succession? Or is it the deliberate, controlled, and fragile attempt to build an idea that lasts? The gardener who plants a seed and lets go, or the architect who draws a blueprint and builds? The path of surrender, or the path of control? The question isn't just what you'll leave behind, it's what kind of creator you're willing to be. Where do you place your bet on immortality?